Before we start, if you enjoy this story and would like to hear more, check out Discount Storytime's Patreon. You'll find a link to a no-strings-attached free story in the show notes. Now on with the show. Content warning for profanity and adult themes. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Discount Storytime. This week's story is LOVE LLC. Enjoy! In front of Mega City Hall, an intrepid reporter spoke into the camera.
This is intrepid reporter Carol Courageous at Mega City Hall, where the Superhero Goody League will hold an urgent press conference. Look, here they are now.
A group of superheroes stood in front of a podium. Wonder Chap, the leader in a flowing cape, stepped up to the microphone. Hello, good citizens of Mega City. My colleagues and I are proud to announce that the League of Villainous Evildoers, or LOVE, has been captured. We received a tip and were able to find and apprehend these villains in their secret underground lair. Not only that, but we stopped the dastardly Professor Perilous from one of her evil plans in progress. The world is safer today, thanks to my colleagues at the Goody League and the brave tipster. And, if I may take a personal moment, Miss Courageous, Miss Carol Courageous, will you please come up here? Shocked, intrepid reporter Carol Courageous walked up to Wonder Chap.
Yes?
Wonder Chap, his perfect facial features blushing, got down on one knee. It was a crisp spring day when I saved you from that burning submarine. And as we flew away over the ocean, I remember a moment when we caught each other's eyes. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, Wonder Chap. I do remember feeling that connection. After that, I even wrote a Missed Connections ad about it.
Well, Wonder Chap pulled a piece of yellowed newspaper out of his pocket. I know, I've kept it.
Aww.
Take a look. Carol Courageous takes the folded piece of newspaper in trembling hands, unfolds it, and finds a beautiful, sparkling engagement ring. Carol Courageous, will you marry me?
Yes, Wonder Chap. I will marry you.
They hug and kiss, and Wonder Chap pulls out 2 paper tickets. And perhaps we can honeymoon on a 2-week cruise. Earlier that same day, deep in the underground lair of League of Villainous Evildoers, LLC, or LOVE, as it was commonly known, evil was at work. Mr. Nefarious, the criminal mastermind and leader of LOVE, stepped into an elevator. To look at him, you would think he was a middle-aged bank manager. He had a balding pate, thick eyebrows, and a trim mustache. His pinstripe suit shone in the elevator den. As he began pressing the down button to the science laboratory, several voices called out. The other members of LOVE's management team ran down the hall. The notorious Aver Ice. Imagine a figure skater in a light blue dress, but can send out deadly freeze rays from her fingers. The hallway shook as, next to Avarice, a large, muscular figure with a blonde crew cut and in a black turtleneck and black slacks bounded towards the elevator. This was the feared villain, Hard Boiled, who once snapped a man in half using only his toes. They ran towards the closing elevator and yelled, "Wait!" Mr. Nefarious grinned darkly. "You should have left sooner," and pushed the down button. I told you, evil was indeed at work. A while later, in the underground layer's science laboratory, Professor Perilous, with curly-grayed hair, thick glasses, and a crisply ironed lab coat, stood in front of Avarice.
No, Avarice, you cannot bring your Senka in here. How many times do I have to say it? Laboratory safety is...
Nobody replied, so Professor Perilous tried again.
Laboratory safety is...
Laboratory safety is everyone's responsibility. Still not satisfied, Professor Perilous turned to Mr. Nefarious.
Mr. Nefarious, I simply cannot continue this laboratory tour if...
Professor Perilous, I'm sure Avarice will be happy to leave her Senka outside of the laboratory.
As I said when we started these walking meetings, it's important for us to get out of our silos. We had every meeting in our conference room, but then went off in our different directions. But now we are taking turns having our meetings in each other's workspaces, so we can learn about each other's challenges and workflows. Avarice rolled her eyes.
Fine, Professor Perilous, I'll leave my Senka outside.
Professor Perilous pressed her palms together.
Thank you. Laboratory safety is...
We get it, Avarice snapped.
Great, so let's start our tour. As you can see over here, our previous central disintractor, which had a maximum energy of only a few million heptajoules per volume matrix unit, has been updated with a sterilizer panel disintractor with a maximum flub knot capacity of...
Mr. Nefarious broke in.
Professor Perilous, perhaps for clarity's sake, you might use lay language for those of us without your science background.
Professor Perilous placed a hand on her hip and smiled.
Oh, yes, of course. This is a big machiny thing, you dimwits. Follow me.
And walked off. The group walked through the cold and sterile laboratory. Bright fluorescent lights buzzed as they passed blinking gadgets and bubbling solutions. As Hard Boiled looked around, his face scrunched. Finally, he raised his hand.
Professor Perilous?
Yes?
Hard Boiled scratched his head.
Where is the Bowflex?
Professor Perilous sighed inwardly, already weary of the large oaf.
Where is what?
The Bowflex. My Bowflex is my temple. That's how I stay. This.
Hard Boiled flexed his arms and his tight turtleneck ripped.
A weight machine? We don't have those in here. In this laboratory, the only muscles we flex are our brains.
Hard Boiled scratched his chin and his shirt ripped.
Brains are made of muscle?
Apparently yours is. Now, if we can carefully pass through this section. Carefully.
Professor Perilous turned to lead them through perhaps the most dangerous part of the laboratory, a narrow passageway brimming with delicate vials of hazardous solutions. She had been meaning to update this part and put each of the dangerous vials in a safety container, but having to buy the replacement sterilizer panel disintractor blew a hole in her laboratory's budget. And money doesn't grow on trees. Well, at least not yet, but that's the solution in vial 72 may just fix that.
I can't stress this enough. Do not touch any of these vials. Some are very hazardous and volatile, and just the slightest bump.
Professor Perilous turned to see all three of her colleagues pointing at each other.
It wasn't me.
I don't care. I mostly don't care which one of you did it. What vial broke?
They searched the ground, and Avarice picked up a large piece of broken glass with a label on it.
Found it. It was hard to read, number 8. What was number 8?
Professor Perilous sighed relief.
It's not that deadly, so that's good, but it spreads quickly in the air.
Mr. Nefarious, now nervous, shook his head.
What was in it? What was in it?
As they looked at the spilled liquid, it quickly evaporated into the air.
What is it?
A moment later, Avarice said,
I've never had an orgasm. Truth serum,
Professor Perilous said.
It's truth serum, but as an aerosol. It quickly spreads through the air and makes everyone who inhales it tell only the truth. Drop it into cabinet meetings or high-stakes negotiations and sow chaos and ruin alliances. I've only been able to get the effect to last for 15 minutes. I could work harder to concentrate it, but I usually blow off my afternoons to read romance novels and drink Sanka in the lab. Oh, shit.
I knew it. Avarice pointed an accusing finger.
You did not.
Well, I can't lie now, can I? Mr. Nefarious held out his hands.
Okay, listen. I have 3 things to say. 1, fighting won't get us anywhere. 2, we have 15 minutes of truthfulness in a 1-hour meeting, so let's simply wait it out. And 3, I've never found any of you even remotely attractive.
Hardboiled added,
Me neither. You all have really let yourselves go. Try a salad, for God's sake, or Bowflex.
Avarice shot back,
Don't date your Bowflex if you haven't already.
Maybe I will, but Bowflex isn't who I love. I love.
Everyone quieted down. Hardboiled softly said,
I love Wonder Chap.
What?
Professor Perilous asked,
How long has that been going on?
A while, I guess. It was a warm summer day, and I was robbing Mega City Bank. I had just pulled the door off the bank vault when Wonder Chap flew in. He grabbed me and pulled me out of the bank, and we started punching each other.
Oh, how romantic.
Avarice hissed.
Shut up. There was a moment, just a moment, between punches, and we caught each other's eyes. It may sound dumb, but I swear there was a connection, something there. I even wrote a missed connections ad about it, but he probably didn't see it.
Pathetic,
snarled Avarice. Mr. Nefarious held out his hands, trying to keep the peace.
It doesn't matter anyway. Wonder Chap is dating that intrepid reporter, Carol Courageous.
Hardboiled and Avarice both shouted,
Nuh-uh.
Hardboiled crossed his arms and said, "Wonder Chap loves me, I'm sure. I just haven't broken through yet. That is why I snitched on this organization." Mr. Nefarious's bushy eyebrows raised. "What?" "I ratted you out for love. I sent Wonder Chap an anonymous message from me telling him where our lair is and all the access codes. Now he will see me in a new light and want to go out with me."
Fool, you sent what kind of message?
"An anonymous letter."
So, how's he gonna know that it's you?
"Well, shit."
Besides, it doesn't matter, because I'm in love with Wonder Chap.
What? "When did that happen?" asked Mr. Nefarious.
It was a cold winter day, and I was robbing the Mega City Bank, and had just frozen the vault door to smash it to pieces. Wonder Chap started to come at me, and I froze him just briefly with my freeze beam. It didn't last long, but I could tell as he looked at me there was something like a connection or something there. I even wrote a missed connections ad about it, but he probably didn't see it.
Hardboiled barked. "Ha, loser."
Shut up. That's why I ratted you all out. I sent Wonder Chap a message telling him where our lair is and all our access codes. Now he will see me in a new light and ask me out.
Mr. Nefarious laughed. "Why, you are both fools. I've loved him long before either of you came to work here."
What?
"Years ago, when I was just starting out, I had him trapped in my torture dungeon. I was explaining my evil plan, as one does, and he didn't seem all that interested. So I got right in his face. I was going to yell at him that he was about to die. But instead, as he looked at me, there was something. I swear there was a connection. Something there. I even wrote a missed connections ad about it. But he probably didn't see it. That's why I squealed on the organization. I sent Wonder Chap a message telling him where our lair is and all of our access codes."
You
moron.
This is your organization. You are destroying your own organization.
Mr. Nefarious paused, thought about what to say, then spoke. "Oh, maybe life is about more than being a villainous evildoer. I'm tired. Tired of the plotting, the scheming, the budgets, the meetings. Do you know what I want? What I really, really want?" They all looked at him. "I want a vacation. I want a vacation. And I have booked a 2-week cruise vacation and tickets for 2. Just me and Wonder Chap on a cruise ship on the high seas for 2 weeks. We can have drinks with little umbrellas, bask in the sun, maybe even read a few romance novels. I hear they're popular."
Professor Perilous said, "I have some good ones to lend you."
"Thank you. See?" Mr. Nefarious held up 2 tickets. "Tickets are bought. Probably don't need airfare to the port as he can fly, so that saves some." Incredulous, Avarice asked,
"Has he even agreed to go with you?"
Mr. Nefarious scratched his neck. "Well, I emailed him a link to the itinerary, but he hasn't responded yet." Avarice cocked her head.
"Aren't you insane? You bought cruise tickets and don't... That makes no sense. Like, something stupid, like eating frozen hot dogs."
Mr. Nefarious glared back at Avarice. but was startled when Professor Perilous shouted out,
Eureka! Eureka, Avarice! Normally, you are an incompetent buffoon, but today you are a genius.
I am?
Yes. What? Yes. Yes. What you said was brilliant. Totally by chance, of course, but frozen hot dogs are frozen HD. Come, look.
Excited, she ushered the group to a corner of the lab. On a computer monitor was a sign that said, Fan Fiction Rough Drafts. Mr. Nefarious shook his head. Why, you're writing fan fiction on a work computer during work hours?
No. I use that sign to keep anyone from looking. Here is what I've really been doing. See this molecular structure?
She tore off the sign and pointed to the computer screen filled with globs. Nobody understood.
I couldn't get it right, but now if I lower the process temperature of the hydrogen decouplenator or freeze HD...
Professor Perilous typed frantically on the keyboard, hit enter, and a moment later the screen was filled with more globs nobody understood. But Professor Perilous was ecstatic.
It works. It really works. I mean, we need to test it, of course, but I'm sure it works.
Congratulations. Now what the hell are we looking at? Snapped Hard-Boiled.
This is the cure for cancer. I just cured cancer.
Professor Perilous hopped up and down in excitement as everyone's jaws dropped.
You've been working on curing cancer when you're supposed to be an evil scientist? What a loser,
said Avarice. Professor Perilous turned on her.
Loser? Loser? Sure, I could have spent more time on my evil projects instead of curing cancer. But would any of you notice? Do any of my evil scientific breakthroughs get recognition? No. As soon as I come up with a new kill laser or a new hamster poison, you take it and run off with so much as a thank you.
The others looked down at the floor.
And does my brilliant scientific mind get a seat at the table when business decisions are made? No! You send me back down here to my laboratory. This is the first time any of you have even bothered to tour my laboratory. But guess who appreciates real scientific genius?
Professor Perilous got a dreamy look in her eyes.
Wonder Chap. His scientists have input on major organizational decisions. Do you know what the scientists at the Goody League got for Scientist Appreciation Day? Fruit baskets. And not just the regular kind, but the fancy ones with all the dipped-in chocolate. Like pineapple. What did I get for Scientist Appreciation Day?
There was a Scientist Appreciation Day? Asked Mr. Nefarious.
Exactly. See what I'm talking about? As soon as I show the cure for cancer to Wonder Chap, he will take me into his strong arms, caress my cheeks, and tell me he loves me too.
Oh, God damn it,
Avarice yelled, but it was drowned out by a loud crash. The laboratory door flew off the hinges, and Wonder Chap and the rest of the Goody League entered. Mr. Nefarious glowered. Now, we all gave you the access codes. Did you really have to ruin the door? Stop now, fiends! I won't allow your evil doing to progress any further. Wonderchap used his laser eyes to melt Professor Perilous's computer.
Stop! That's the cure for...
I don't want to hear it. Your sinister reign of power is over. And just to make sure you cannot complete whatever evil you were working on, quick, Mind Trap. Mind Trap stepped forward. She wore a yellow supersuit and wore what looked like an oversized bike helmet covered in flashing electrodes. Mind Trap yelled, "Amnesia Ray!" And sonic mind waves shot out of the bike helmet into the brains of all the villains. The villains stood there, motionless. After a moment, Wonderchap asked, are they okay?" Mind Trap answered, "Yes, they will come out of it in a minute, but won't remember anything of the last 15 minutes. So whatever evil they were working on that computer is lost forever." "Good job, Mind Trap, and..." Wonderchap grabbed the cruise tickets out of Mr. Nefarious's hands. Yoink! None of you saw that. The heroes rolled their eyes and said, "Yes, boss." Later, that same day.
This is intrepid reporter Carol Courageous at Mega City Hall, where the Superhero Goody League will hold an urgent press conference. Look, here they are now.
A group of superheroes stood in front of a podium. Wonderchap, the leader in a flowing cape, stepped up to the microphone. "Hello, good citizens of Mega City. My colleagues and I are proud to announce that the League of Villainous Evildoers, or LOVE, has been captured. We received a tip and were able to find and apprehend these villains in their secret underground lair. Not only that, but we stopped the dastardly Professor Perilous from one of her evil plans in progress. The world is safer today, thanks to my colleagues at the Goody League and the brave Tipster. And, if I may take a personal moment, Miss Courageous, Miss Carol Courageous, will you please come up here?" Shocked, intrepid reporter Carol Courageous walked up to Wonderchap.
Yes?
Wonderchap, his perfect facial features blushing, got down on one knee. "It was a crisp spring day when I saved you from that burning submarine. And as we flew away over the ocean, I remember a moment when we caught each other's eyes. Do you remember?"
Oh, yes, Wonderchap. I do remember feeling that connection. After that, I even wrote a Missed Connections ad about it.
Well, Wonderchap pulled a piece of yellowed newspaper out of his pocket. "I know, I've kept it."
Aww.
"Take a look." Carol Courageous takes the folded piece of newspaper in trembling hands, unfolds it, and finds a beautiful, sparkling engagement ring. "Carol Courageous, will you marry me?"
Yes, yes, Wonderchap. I will marry you.
They hug and kiss, and Wonderchap pulls out 2 paper tickets. "And perhaps we can honeymoon on a 2-week cruise." Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story, and we will be back next week with a new one. So until then, be sure to play nice with others, be super duper kind to yourself, and as always, remember to laugh. Bye. If you are enjoying the show, please consider supporting Discount Storytime. You can do that by telling others about the show. Podcasts depend on word of mouth for growth, so this is perhaps the most important. Writing in. I love hearing from listeners about what the show is doing well and especially how the show can improve. Click on the link in the show notes or email me at mail@discountstorytime.com. And finally, Discount Storytime is on Patreon, with bonus content for subscribers. A free story, The Fall of Stumbly, is available now. Check it out at patreon.com/discountstorytime, or the link is in the show notes. And thank you so much for being a listener. Bye!